Good afternoon, YouTube. It's me, HDM Law, Greg at HDM Law Comics, bringing you another video. Today I'm going to do an unboxing video, a couple things about my comic book store, and talk a little bit about auctions. So, went to my local comic book store today, LCS. One of the few, I have three that I really kind of use, and I've been, back in the comic hobby, I want to say for 4 or 5 months now. And so now I've gotten to kind of tailor my patterns, what I want to do and what I plan on doing. So one of the biggest things that I'm hearing a lot of people, not a lot, but I'm hearing some people on videos saying that, the comic book industry isn't like usual. It should be treated differently and special, and that's just wrong. Comic books, like anything else, follows business principles. Business principles are simple. They're straightforward. They apply to every category of goods and services. Don't fool yourself. Don't try to make something different, because the minute you try to say comic books or anything like that is different in your LCS or your business model should be treated differently than a real true business, then you need to consider yourself a charity, because charity will operate on, or nonprofit will operate on a different level. But if you're in comic books, an LCS, something like that, because people are talking about DC breaking up with Diamond, and I just looked at it and said, well, in the business model, I understand it. Diamond had too much control. DC want to offer more competition. Yes, there's a change, there's an adjustment, but it's business. So when I'm looking at comics now in the hobby, what a lot of people want to do is they want to, they speculate, they want to invest, what's the best value and things like that. The principle is really simple. It's like everything else. Buy low, sell high. If you can buy it low as possible, sell it high as possible, you maximize profit, which is what the business model is. Now, you can generalize that for the entire industry, which follows, or you can separate it out for each and every transaction. And that's where the little things will differ a little bit. But I have to look at what I enjoy is buying low and selling high. And the best way that you maximize your return is if you can buy a good copy in the raw for the best price you can, turn around, clean and press it, and then submit it to CGC, hopefully get the 9.8, and then you can turn around and then sell it for the value at a 9.8. Typical example is Amazing Spider-Man 1. Everyone uses Amazing Spider-Man 1 as their example. So an Amazing Spider-Man 1 and an 8.0, say raw is worth $50,000. And if it's graded in an 8.0, it's worth $80,000. So best way to buy low is if you find someone who has this, and I ran across someone in a Facebook group that had a bunch of them, and you come across one who says, I'm looking to sell my ASM1, and you go to them and say, okay, well, and then they'll look it up and they'll say, I think the value is, I think it's a 9.0 because it looks really clean. And then you've got to come back and say, CGC is not going to give you 9.0 because the pages are off-white or whatever reason you want to do. And so he says, well, I want, 50,000 cash. And then you come and say, well, I'll give you 40,000 cash today, right now. Cash in your pocket, and it's done. We walk away. That is an example of you buying low, reasonably low, but low. Now, the person can decide, well, I don't want to do that. I want to go ahead and submit it myself and get it graded and then try to maximize my profit, and they can do that. But if they're sitting there going, well, I just want to get cash, and you're trying to be an investor, and you see it and you go, okay, I'll give you 45,000 cash right now. And you're worth 80, but I'll give you 45,000. So you then buy it for 45,000. You then take it to your press and clean guy, He charges you 10, maybe $20 to do it because he realizes it's a great book. So he charges his fee. Then you turn around, you send it to CGC. CGC contacts you and says, okay, we know if we give this an 8.0, it's going to go to $80,000. We have no idea what you paid for it, but we know it's going to be worth a lot more than you paid for it raw. So we want our 10% of it. So you may pay $8,000 to CGC to grade it the 8.0. Is what it is. Because other than that, you're not going to get the maximum if you don't pay that. So then, all in, you're in $53,000 for an $80,000 book. So now you potentially increase your revenue $27,000 just for the one book. Okay, that is an example of buying low, selling high. Another example. Okay, I found in my garage a Werewolf by Night number 32, first appearance of Moon Knight. Okay, I bought that back in 83, 84 for maybe $5. Okay, bag, boarded, put it in my long box, and stored it forever and ever. Just happened to come upon it, looked at it, and go, wow, it's in really good shape. Look at the guides, comic price guide, and Go Collect. They have this thing in a 9.8 at astronomical money. So now the thing I have to do is, okay, I bought it extremely low because I bought it so long ago. Now turn around, and I had my cleaning press guy, and I had him look at it because I had a spine roll. Now back then, there were no cleaning press guys. There was no CGC. You just simply got a book, you stored it, and you held on to it. So I couldn't tell there's a spine roll, so I'm not going to get the best I can for it. It was just, here's what I got. I got a back issue, paid $5 for it, and then that's it. So now I'm up. My guy's saying, well, can you fix the spine roll? He goes, I'm not going to be able to fix the spine roll, but you should be able to get a 9.2 on it. And I'm like, well, that's a far cry from a 9.8, because from 28,000 it's now down to 3. But I still have. But to maximize my return, he's going to $10. He'll clean and press the best he can. Then I'll submit it to CGC and get the best grade I can on it. Whether I keep it or not depends on exactly where they come back. But that's another example of buying low and then selling high. So that's how I look at it. So what I'm doing from now on is, I'm buying books in the auctions that I plan on, one, getting graded, that are important enough to get graded, because I've got 300-400 books that I said, I'm going to eventually send off to get graded, and I know realistically that's just not going to happen. I'm going to do $10 a month. I'm going to try to stick to that, and so that's going to leave a lot of books that are decent books, good books, low issues in the Silver Age and Bronze Age that will not get that won't get graded. So those I'll end up giving at auctions. So I went to my LCS today because this guy I know doesn't grade his books. He buys collections and he'll go through them and he'll put them in Mylar and display it and charge the appropriate raw price for them. So I can get you get a good raw price for him. He doesn't send them out he doesn't send out for slabs. He just doesn't have the capital to do it. He's just one of those kind of turn it. If he gets something good, he posts it on Facebook and then turns it, or eBay and then turns it. So I went out there today because I said, let me see what he's got, and we'll see what comes up. So I found this, Amazing Spider-Man 301. Not in good shape. Got some issues on the bottom here, some spine ticks here, but it's an Amazing Spider-Man 301. Very hard to find for some reason. I remember I had this, and I sold my copy to my comic shop, 10, 12 years ago because I needed money and haven't been able to find it. So this in high grade is quite a bit of money. But because of the issues, I didn't pay a lot for it. But I will auction it off because someone's going to want it. And, I'll get my money back. but and I snapped it up because it's like I don't find these that often. They're just not around. So for me, the amount of money I put into getting it, not that much, So I will gladly go ahead and pick it up, put it at an auction, and then because I'm supposed to be a panelist on an auction this coming Sunday. Hopefully that'll still work out, and I'll put this in there with it. So really, it's a nice cover. You can take it to the clean and press guy, let someone clean and press it, and then they'll submit it and get the best grade they can. But again, another issue of buying low. So I also found when I was there, because like I said, he'll come across a few slabs every once in a while. He found this Amazing Spider-Man #2, a Midtown Comics sketch exclusive, in a 9.8 CBCS. Now, I checked on the price guide, checked on Go Collect and Comics Price Guide. He had it marked a little undervalued. So I said, okay, again, it's a 9.8. It's good. It's a good book. It's a sketch variant. It's something all the people on the auction look at and go, okay, great. It's a good grade, high grade, by a reputable company, and so it should fetch, more than what I, paid for it. So even if I did a lot with these two, it should be a pretty good lot. So I bought this really decently in this one. So, and again, because he doesn't do a lot of slabs, he has like 3 short boxes of slabs, and that's it. And an entire store full of, 80 to 100 long boxes full of raw books. That's what he does. So if I want to go finding something that's, going to be relatively, and he has too much to really keep up with. So, I can kind of catch a deal like I did with this. Walking Dead #1. This is the Wizard World Philadelphia edition and a 9.8. I mean, he had this way underpriced. So I'm like, I gotta do this, and I'll put this in. I'm not a Walking Dead fan at all, but I'll put it with some image books that I've got that I don't need, and someone's gonna snap this up because there are a lot of Walking Dead people out there, and given what I paid for it, I'll get my money back plus some. So again, bought it low, and hopefully it'll do well in the auction and sell high. Now I also got my package in from Lett. So I'm gonna do my shout outs. Shout outs to Manny and Chino at R&R Comics in Houston. They do an auction every Wednesday night and Friday night. Friday night's the real big keys, decent sized keys. Wednesdays, more basic stuff. Shout out to Thorough, those New York guys. They do auctions and they're pretty good in their stuff. Shout out to Mr. Lett, Roman, Paul at R&R Comics, Manny and Chino, Kevin Anderson, Comic Book Flipping. I'm starting to learn, know all these people in the community, and it's really good, because it's good. So Lett is someone who, I catch some stuff from auctions from him, and I've bought a few things from him before. Usually has good books, gives you decent deals. And so this one he had on auction, I remember now, and I picked it up pretty decently. Submariner #6 in a 9.2 CGC. Old label, but still a 9.2 CGC. Good book, nice book to add to my personal collection. I was glad to get it. Wasn't that expensive. Silver Age book, really good. Now, the real book that I got from him, which was good, which was great, should be here. And I had, I remember he had said he had, several of them. And I was like, well, he had teased some of them, he had some of these. And I said, well, can you bring it to an auction? And he says, well, maybe I will. So at that auction, I asked him, I said, do you bring it? Can you bring it out? Because I'd like to get a chance to buy it. So he said yes. And so here it is, Ultimate Fallout number 4. First edition, first printing. Been looking for this book for a while. First appearance of Miles Morales, who as of now is taking off like crazy in the comic book world. A 9.8 of this is like $700, or up to $900, and maybe $1,000 by the time the next Spider-Man Spider-Verse movie comes out. But Miles Morales, good copy, clean copy. So immediately, and it's in the bag. So this goes to CGC with the next shipment, and hopefully if I can get a 9.8, I'll be ecstatic because this will stay. I got another one of these from Manny and Chino that's coming some point in time after it went to the presser guy and Edwin at Strictly Comics, and that'll come back, and then I'll probably send that off as well because and the best one comes back, I'll keep. The one that doesn't, I'll flip, or I'll sell at auction. Glad to get this. I am. I've been waiting for this for a good while, and it's surprising because it's not like I thought it would be. Just a regular comic book. I thought it was one of the real thick ones, but it is. Miles Morales is fire right now, absolute fire. So glad to get that. Shout out to Lett for that. So as I get more stuff, I'll do more unboxings and have them there, and we'll talk some more. So again, there's an auction tonight. Manny and Chino, R&R Comics on YouTube. Find it Chino Comics and More on YouTube. Great bunch of guys. And then I think after that, Thorough, if you're supposed to do I guess what, a mashup or chop up or whatever it is, a round table discussion. And so I'll watch that. But if you like what you see, please sub up. Please hit the like button. Shout out to all the people so they can. It's about the books. It's about enjoying the hobby, and remember, it's a hobby. That's all it is. You shouldn't break the bank enjoying the hobby. But for those who you really decide that you want to invest and be smart in it, one of the things that I've seen is don't overspend. You have a certain amount that it's worth, spend that. But also know the scarcity. I've been doing enough auctions to know that certain things are going to be seldomly seen. Most of these auctions, the guys don't bring up a lot of good books. They'll bring up filler stuff that they don't want to keep, and 40 books, starting bid $10. So okay, that's not for me. That may be for somebody else, but not for me. Last week, Manny and Chino brought a Fantastic Four 48 out. So kind of mid grade. First appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus. Huge key. So I'm like, okay, how much am I going to spend on this? How often do I see this book come available that you're not spending a ton of money to get? And how many people am I competing against to get it? Now, Manny and Chino do their own auction, so they have somewhere between 40 and 80 people at any one time. More of the smaller auctions, it's just them. They don't have a panel of people. So that doesn't bring a whole lot extra people. So the way I looked at it was, I have a smaller number of people to compete against to get this book. This is the only time I've seen the book like this come up at all. May not see one for a while. And it's a decent looking copy. It's got a tear, not going to get anything over a 5 or 5.0 at all, but it's not a 0.5 or a 1. Shouldn't be. So there's a good chance it's going to be a decent mid-grade copy. So, and it's an absolute key. It's one of those that you get it, put it in your collection, and just keep it unless you get a chance to trade up or increase it and get another one that's better. So I went to war for it, and got really close to the final bid that I could do, and and hold on. But I said, I justified it because again, you just don't see it come up. I've seen a lot of people's auctions; they don't come even close to bringing a book like that up. So I pulled the trigger on it and got it. Well, again, take it to my clean and press guy, Al Basement Comics in Bel Air, Maryland. Have him work on it, and then I'll submit it, and get it graded because it was in the raw, and so that way it comes back, whatever comes back, I know what I have. So again, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Great to see you. Continue supporting the local folks. Hope to see you in an auction. All right, take care, YouTube.